Welcome to Cataclysm of Kang, Rank 5, Session 1. So now, this has gone cosmic. Now, the danger is much greater. Now, heroes of cosmic quality must be brought in for this. The stakes are much higher than just the Earth. Now, it is the multiverse. And at this point, we will now have everyone introduce themselves and basically let you know each person's character. At this point, who would like to go first?
I can go first.
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'm playing Clea, a sorceress hailing from the dark dimension, and my life has been shaped by both magic and destiny. Born into a powerful lineage, I'm the daughter of Umar and the niece of Dormammu, beings whose ambitious and dark powers have always loomed over me. Despite the shadow of my family's legacy, I forged my own path, becoming a force in the mystical world. I fought alongside Doctor Strange, delving deep into the secrets of the multiverse and defending it from unimaginable threats. But my connection to the dark dimension is never far behind, pulling me into a constant struggle between light and dark, between duty and the desire to carve out my own identity. My journey is one of self-discovery, balancing the weight of my powers with the desire to protect those I love and the worlds I've sworn to safeguard.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Hold on.
Oh, you're welcome.
We're gonna go into a video now of Clea, so you guys can all understand her even more. So at this point, those of you should be able to see something now in the Zoom.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get ready. I'm about to play the video, so you may want to silence yourselves on that part.
Who is Clea? Clea makes her MCU debut in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where she is played by Charlize Theron. But in the comics history, she's almost as old as Steven. Doctor Strange first appeared in Strange Tales issue 110 back in 1963. In 1964, Clea would appear in Strange Tales issue 127. She was one of Dormammu's prisoners. Having never known any other world, she worshipped Dormammu until she met Strange. His initial bargain he made with Dormammu in the comics was in exchange for Clea's release and a promise to not invade Earth. Clea would go on to become a major love interest for Doctor Strange, but was also a hero and powerful magic user in her own right, being the daughter of Umar, Dormammu's sister, and Prince Orini, the son of the former ruler of the Dark Dimension prior to Dormammu's reign. Clea would end up becoming Strange's wife and would also take his place as Sorcerer Supreme following his death in the comics.
Alright, so I hope you feel you know her a little better now with that. And with that, we're now going to go to the next person that would want to introduce themselves. Who can we count on? Ah, excellent. Please, go ahead, Nice.
I am Adam Warlock. I am not going to play a manly voice because that would be impossible to maintain. Born not of nature, but of design, crafted by hands that sought to control perfection. They failed. I destroyed them. Since that day, I have walked the stars, seeking truth, balance, and purpose. I have faced madness, death, and worse, and I have returned each time. I am more than a man, yet bound by the duty to protect life, even when it resists salvation. The Soul Stone no longer guides me, but my will remains unshaken. Evil shall find no refuge while I draw breath.
Excellent. And with that, we will now go to a short video to where we will understand Adam Warlock. Let me know that you can see.
We can see.
Alright, I'm going to play now.
Warlock is a fictional character appearing in Marvel Comics. He first appeared back in Fantastic Four 66 in 1967. Adam's origin story begins with a group of scientists, known as the Enclave, who created him as the perfect human being. They intended to use him as a weapon to conquer the world, but Adam rejected their plans and used his powers to escape. Adam has a variety of superhuman abilities, including strength, speed, agility, durability, and the ability to fly. Also project energy beams, and he has a healing factor. Oh, and he can survive in space without any protection. Throughout the years, Adam has played a major role in many Marvel storylines, particularly those involving the Infinity Gauntlet and other cosmic events.
Ralph, he rose up as if resurrected like a vampire.
They mention his healing factor, and yet, that character sheet.
I know, he goes through a lot of reincarnations, unfortunately. And currently it is with that one. Okay. Who would like to be next?
I'll go next.
All right.
I'm America Chavez, a hero with the ability to create star-shaped portals that let me travel between dimensions. I was born in a utopian parallel, a beautiful dimension that no longer exists. My two mothers died protecting it, and their loss has shaped much of my journey. After that, I've wandered across different universes, eventually finding my way to Earth 616, where I joined the Young Avengers. I'm a fighter, always ready to protect those who can't protect themselves. My strength, flight, and portals might seem like the core of my powers, but my real strength comes from my drive to make sure no one experiences the same heartbreak I did. As a Latina woman, I carry the responsibility of representing my communities, and it's a weight I wear proudly. Despite the tough exterior, I still am working through my own struggles. I've often been brash and impulsive, jumping into situations without thinking them through, but that's just part of who I am. It's my way of pushing through the pain of my past and staying focused to my present fight. My journey isn't easy, and I've made mistakes, but I keep going because that's what heroes do. I'll never stop fighting for the multiverse, one portal at a time. I won't let my scars define me. I may not always have the answers, but I'll always give my all to protect the innocent and honor the memory of my moms.
Excellent. And with that, we will now see a short video on her. Can everyone see it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to play it now.
Who is America Chavez? America Chavez is Miss America. Despite her superhero name, in her initial origin, she wasn't from the USA. Instead, America was from the Utopian Parallel, a place that exists both outside of the multiverse and time, inhabited solely by women and the Demiurge. Her origin story was recently retconned so that everything she remembered of the Utopian Parallel, the threat of its destruction, and how her two mothers sacrificed themselves to save it, were all memories America unconsciously made up in order to protect herself against the trauma of her true origin. That her mothers were scientists on Earth who were killed, and that America's sister had been lost to her. America's powers include super strength and speed, flight, invulnerability, and the unique ability to open star portals, through which she can traverse the multiverse. As of her new origin, her powers are the result of extra-dimensional and genetic experimental research. America Chavez has been affiliated with the Young Avengers team, but first appeared in Vengeance issue number 1 alongside the Teen Brigade.
And there we go. That is America Chavez. And now, who would be next? Sam?
I'll go. Bear with me. I don't know if my voice will crack in or out. Okay.
You're a drama kid.
Trying. Stepping it up. Are you ready?
We're ready. Go ahead.
I never asked for these powers, but since they were mine, I couldn't walk away from them. I'm Monica Rambeau, and when my explosion infused me with energy, it transformed me into a photon. Someone who can phase through walls, manipulate light, and move at incredible speeds. I've led the Avengers and faced cosmic threats, but the real challenge is balancing these immense abilities with who I am at my core. There are days when I feel more like energy than human, and the weight of responsibility is overwhelming. Yet when I see people in need, I remember why I keep fighting. Not just to protect, but to ensure that others can live in peace. The power isn't just for battles, it's for healing, for justice, and for always rising to the challenge, no matter what.
Excellent. And with that, we're going to take a look at something with her. Do you see the
Yes.
screen on that? Okay, here we go, people.
Monica Rambeau, also known as Photon. Roger Stern and John Romita Jr. created Monica Rambeau. Her debut appearance in a comic book was in Amazing Spider-Man Annual Number 16 in 1982. Lieutenant Monica Rambeau obtained the capacity to manipulate all energies of the electromagnetic spectrum after being exposed to extra-dimensional energy while working as a crime fighter. She has used a variety of code names over the years. Monica may transform into any type of light, energy on the electromagnetic spectrum. She has the ability to transform into photons, electricity, microwaves, radio waves, gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet radiation, infrared radiation, and so on. She can travel at various speeds, even the speed of light, depending on the type of energy she converts.
And that is very important to know, Sam. I will allow you in some circumstances, if there's something you want to specifically turn into, that you'll be using that type of energy. So keep that in mind. Very important. Alright, and with that, last but not least.
Alright. I'm Hyperion, the last son of worlds that no longer exist. Time and time again, I've watched everything I love turn to dust. My homeworld's collapsing under the forces beyond my control. I was born on a parallel Earth, raised with the ideals of truth and justice, only to witness my reality be torn asunder. The multiverse has played cruel tricks on me, casting me adrift through time and space, leaving me the sole survivor of annihilated worlds. The loneliness is unbearable at times, an endless void that no amount of heroism can truly fill. Each new world I step upon, each sunrise I see reminds me of somewhere in the fabric of existence. My past lies in ruins. Then came AIM, those soulless scientists who saw me not as a person, but as an experiment. They tore my mind and my body, breaking me down to understand what made me strong, what made me different. The pain was unrelenting, but even worse was the feeling of helplessness, as if I were nothing more than a specimen under the glass. It was the Avengers who saved me, who reminded me that I am more than the sum of losses and suffering. They gave me purpose, a reason to fight beyond my survival, but even among them, I remained an outsider, a being of time, always aware that the universe could rip me away as it has done before. Now I wander alone, drifting across the country, seeking some form of peace that always seems just out of reach. I watch from the shadows, helping where I can, never truly allowing myself to stay in one place too long. It is easier this way, or at least that is what I tell myself. And yet, no matter how far I try to remove myself from the world of heroes, the call to action always finds me. Injustice, suffering, evil, these things still exist, and I cannot ignore them. So I remain vigilant, waiting, knowing that no matter how much I long for peace, my path will always lead me back to the fight.
Fantastic. Love it. And with that, we should now take a look at something about Hyperion. Everyone see this?
Yep.
Here we go.
Another version of Hyperion, Marcus Melton, is from Earth 616, where he is a member of the alien race known as the Eternals, possessing similar powers. Hyperion is a powerhouse with superhuman strength, heat vision, and flight. He can absorb and manipulate vast amounts of solar energy, enhancing his powers even further. He's portrayed as a noble and valiant hero, dedicated to protecting the innocent and upholding justice. Other times, he may struggle with his identity and the responsibilities that come with his immense power.
And there you go. The introduction that each of you have done. And I have to say, I'm very proud of each and every one of you. In fact, I'm so proud of that you've done such an exceptional job. You're all getting a karma right now.
Yeah.
Yes, you have made me proud. It's bringing a tear to my eye.
It's awesome and acknowledged.
Good
I
job,
think it's
Sam.
safe to say we're really looking forward
Yes,
to
good job.
this level of play.
Yeah.
I would also just like to say it for the cameras, as Alyssa just did. Thanks, Sam. She was the one that told us that we needed to come up with intros.
I was happy. I think it added a little something to it, you know?
Yes, it did. It did. Very much so. This is what I was hoping for our games.
I missed that memo, but I'm glad I aligned.
I texted you nice. I
didn't see it. I've been moving. Like,
just nice being naturally wonderful. It's fine. Just naturally.
We're all now on your same level, nice.
Yes.
It was impressive. I know.
Who knows? Maybe
she does have many more years of experience on you guys, for sure.
Absolutely. As she should.
And I'm not saying you're old, nice. I'm just saying you have years of experience.
Fuck you.
He said, wait, let me come back up this hole.
Good save.
There we go. All right, everyone. So now, at this point, all of you are doing what you've been doing in your daily lives. When, for some reason, all of you receive a message through the various means and methods that you have at your disposal, whether it be mobiles, whether it be emails, whether it be receiving radio waves of messages for some of you. And it seems to come from a location in which the caller identifies himself as Nicholas Fury Jr. You are needed. The multiverse is in danger. As you well know, you've seen the attacks and heard about the attacks that have been going on with the incursion from the Hydra Earth. I know that we haven't needed any of your powers or needed your assistance in any hard way, luckily, for that would have meant that the end of the earth was coming at that point. But at this point, now it may well be. Therefore, I am now sending you this message for you to come and join me at this location, for I need you. The world needs you. The multiverse needs you. And with that, he gives you a set of instructions of where to go, and using your various means of travel, of which I will ask each of you now of how you do it, you will arrive at this location, and it will be within the United States. So with this, what is the means of travel that each of you will do? I will ask each of you now to come up with that method. So I will let anyone say how they're doing it.
I will be flying.
Okay. Next person.
I was thinking that if we needed to get there fast, we
You're
could
not
just...
together. You're not together.
Oh, we're not together?
No. You have received individual messages.
I'm gonna portal in.
Okay. If it does cost you focus, please subtract it now.
Yep.
I'm flying. Photon is flying.
Okay. And Hyperion?
Hyperion quickly went to the bathroom. I would assume he's how are you getting to where we're going? Are you flying? Are you portaling? What are you doing?
Okay, he's flying.
All right.
And
I was
America?
going to go portal.
Okay, just spend the focus, please. All right, with that, all of you seem to have a very timely arrival with each other, as you all seem to get there at the same time, almost as if it was fated that you all would arrive at the same time. Or could it be that Nick, maybe knowing your abilities, timed it so that you would arrive at the same time? And with that, we go to the location, or outside the location he told you. You all see the map?
Yes.
All right, check out your tokens right now. Make sure you can change numbers on them. Make sure that you can go into them. Remember, shift double click to open your character sheet on the token. Are we okay there? Yes?
Yep, all good.
Man, you guys got some high focus.
What was that?
I said, man, or
Yeah, some people are going to have really good numbers. Alright, so as you can see, you're outside of a location that looks like what seems to be a standard normal neighborhood where you see people and cars around you as you're landed. You see people are looking over at you and they're like, who are these people? What was that?
Sorry, I was talking to Hyperion in real life.
Alright, so you see before you double doors.
Anything weird?
Double doors. Oh, I see.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Can we go in? Oh.
See if you can open them.
I tried to, but I think my character may be on top of them. It does not.
Oh, I opened it.
Okay.
I see Nick Fury.
Yes, you do.
There it is. I opened the other one.
Welcome.
Moving in. I'm moving over here. Flying in. Boom.
So you come in, and Hyperion, you'll need to move yourself in. And he says, "Thank you for coming. Believe me that I wouldn't have called you unless the stakes were very, very hard." And with that, he begins to move into this location. You see, coming into here, you see it seems to be some kind of safe house for him. As you notice it over in this location is what looks to be a very stylish sports car with a shield symbol on it. And then over here is a gigantic monitor system that looks to have multiple screens up on it, conveying different locations around the world and also statistical things that only he knows what they're for. You can tell that there is a meeting room in this location into which he asks you to please sit around the table. So he moves over there and sits. Go ahead and bring yourself in nice. And pick a chair. Alright, so with that, he basically tells you, he says, I'm going to keep you up to date on stuff that's going on here with what's been happening. You see, Earth 56438, as we designate it, invaded here, and they are known as Hydra Earth. They tried to do an incursion by coming in and taking over as fast as they could, even using subterfuge and such to try to implant themselves within our populace and take over Hell's Kitchen first. Luckily, the local heroes were able to stop that, along with help from whatever SHIELD forces I could muster. As you well know, SHIELD is not really an active organization currently, but I do maintain certain people on alert when I need to be. After all, I always have contingency plans within contingency plans. And with that, I'm afraid the situation has gotten worse. Even after we stopped the incursion, I sent a group of heroes to the other side to destroy their portal technology. Now, they were very successful in doing so, but unfortunately something else was found. It turns out that their world is going to be, that is Hydra Earth, is going to be consumed by Galactus of their world. Evidently, is from what I recall, I heard on that end. Now, the Galactus on that side had a herald. There was of great power, but somewhat evil. Well, utterly evil, in fact, because it was a version of the Silver Surfer, but as the Red Skull, which is just a horrible combination to even think about. So the heroes were able to come back, destroying the portal technology, or so I thought. As it turns out, I received a message not too long ago. It's now been a few weeks that this situation has occurred. But then I was totally surprised to learn that we got a message from the other side, from Hydra 56438. Spider-Woman. I don't know if you all recall that name. In our world, she's a hero. On their world, she's a double agent. Somewhat of a hero on their end, but nevertheless, someone to be suspect about. Now, she has contacted us and asked to have help. Their world is about to be destroyed soon, or they suspect that this Galactus is coming and will consume their world, so they've asked for help. And she's calling as a part of the resistance. Now, as I said, she's a double agent, and of course the resistance on that side did confirm that she was a double agent, but that she was working for them mainly. So I'm inclined to believe her story somewhat, but of course with always trust but verify, as I always say.
I'll tell you that he's here to help us.
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry. America Chavez, please. These are the following. This is Photon. This is Hyperion. This is Clea Strange. And
Warlock.
of course,
Nice to meet you.
Warlock. Adam Warlock. All of you are all cosmic beings that can affect such things beyond this world. And this is why you were called, because you have the power to possibly stop this from happening. We suspect that something will happen. If something on that world occurs, it might drift over to ours. Therefore, I need you to help me handle this situation. And as soon as he says that, you hear behind him the monitor screen, the electronics begin to crackle, and you hear a voice coming through. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? And you recognize that voice as the voice of Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman. And she says, hello. And you see Fury immediately looks over, and it says by voice command, he says, allow transmission through, two-way. With that, you see the monitor screen flares to life and opens a screen where it shows the signal coming through and designating that from coming from Hydra 56438, the Earth that was conquered by them. And you see, she says, can you all hear me? Can you hear me? Fury says, yes, we can hear you. What is it? I've finally been able to find those that might be able to help you on your end. She says, thank God. You don't understand the danger that we're in. We need someone to save our world. Our greatest heroes are no more. We need help. But even though you've destroyed the dimension hopping machine to stop the invasion of your Earth, we were able to get some parts of it and cobble it back together and be able to create at least a workable portal. But we need your help. Please, if you're willing to help us. Our Earth needs help. Please, we know that Hydra will do everything in their power to stop anything you do. But the people here, it's not their fault. Help them. And with that, it's now open to the floor to you all. Is there anything you wish to say?
We'll be there immediately.
I'll never let anyone feel the tragedies that I've felt myself.
At that point, you see that Fury seems to turn to you, kind of like a little bit of a sour face on it. And he kind of like turns back and says,
you have made me very desperate. You might not be glad that you did.
And he says, Maybe you may want to ask her questions.
Who did you guys use to put back the machine that was destroyed?
It says we were able to get it, the parts together and cobble together a working portal that we can use to bring you over.
Who's we?
The Resistance. You see, we were able to secure that portal technology from Egghead. Yes, Egghead. Say the word, we'll open a portal, find a way to win, and it won't be a one-way trip. Anyone
Okay,
else?
but if it's a trip, who's going to come this way? Who's going to protect the portal to make sure nobody bad comes to this way?
We will, from our end.
Okay, but you just said all your greatest heroes are gone.
Our most powerful. But we still can cobble together at least a fighting chance. That's all we ask. A fighting chance.
A fighting chance for us to save your world, or should we just bring you to ours?
You wouldn't be able to get everyone over in time, and Hydra would not let you. They would probably kill or nuke people that and the cities that were willing to come over.
I will not stand for this. I'm going to make sure to do everything in my power. I've seen enough worlds in my days get destroyed and crumbled. I'm not going to let this slip fail.
Yes, you have to understand, everyone on this planet strong enough to fight back has already fled, been arrested, or worse. You are our only hope.
God, I don't know about you. I don't know about your background, but I can't let anything else happen. I love this place too much. It means more to me than you know.
We need to tell you, though, you need to understand something. You see, I don't know how long this connection will hold, so I'll get to it. It's bad. As bad as it gets. In fact, you did us a favor taking out the Crimson Surfer. But he was a small stone plugging a very big dam, and it's about to break. We do need you back here. You have to understand something. There is someone, I don't quite understand, but it's a destroyer of worlds, names himself Kang the Conqueror, but now he calls himself Godking Kang. He seems to be behind it all, but he's moved his operations to the moon, out of reach for the remaining members of the Resistance. None of us have that capability. Even Hydra would probably try to stop him if they knew they were about to be destroyed.
You say none of us can get there?
How long was
None of the Resistance can get there.
How long has it been since he's been on your Earth?
Evidently, he's been behind a lot of it, of what's been going on with this whole situation with the incursion.
How long has he not been on your Earth? How long has he been on the moon?
We're not sure, but we know that whatever it is, the key to stopping it is on the moon. You see, we found something else out also. There's a whole city up there. Did you know that? At least on our world. There's a group known as the Inhumans who live up there. I thought they were a myth, but after seeing what you guys were capable of, anything is possible. We've got someone on the inside who can get you in and bring you up to speed once you get there. Don't bother packing a toothbrush. You'll either be back by morning or not at all. What do you say?
He's a destroyer of worlds, whether it's yours or ours. I don't want to hide it.
Adam pointedly looks at Fury and says, "We'll be there immediately. Where is our pickup point?"
And when you say that, you actually hear the following and see the following. As right in the middle of the room, a portal opens. And seems to beckon to you.
I'm going to walk toward the portal, but I want to pass by Fury and very discreetly just kind of whisper to him, I understand your apprehension, old man, but I'm much older than you, and my risk comes at a price. And I continue.
You tell him.
He looks over at you and he
No,
he looks over at you and he smiles for a moment.
To respond, I don't look at him. I'm going to continue. I would like for the message to be conveyed to him that I didn't like his threat, nor did it actually scare me. But also that I do things for a reason. So he needs to back the fuck up.
Not a problem. And with that, the portal is waiting for those that wish to enter.
He can say whatever or smile at whoever. I'm already on the other side, baby.
Okay. Is that the case with everybody? Hello?
Yep.
All right. With that, you're all going to step through, and this is what happens. Here we go, people.
Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
All right. And with that, you find yourself on the moon.
I always wanted to come to the moon.
And something of consequence. Who here does not have environmental protection?
I failed it. I got it.
Who does not have it?
I do not have it.
Okay. Stepping through, you're like, oh my God, I'm on the moon. But then all of a sudden you now realize you're breathing. There is oxygen here. But you see that a unique sight. As you look around, you notice an astonishing sight. A gleaming city of crystal and metal, more sculpture than Metropolis. And it's in the distance. You see that you seem to be arriving very close to a small guard building, but gleaming towers reach high overhead, drawing your eyes up to a black sky dotted with stars, and in the distance, the pale blue orb of Earth. You see lush greenery extends in all directions off into the distance, ending at the bleak walls of the lunar crater that stretch up towards the sky. A lone tower stands off in the distance. As you look around, you see people, but none you've ever seen. They look to be of all manner of colors and physical builds. If you didn't know any better, you'd think they were mutants. But what's more astonishing is you're on the damn moon. And with that, I'm going to show you what you're viewing.
So
you're not harmed. In fact, this is what you see in the distance. This is what's in front of you. Do you all see it?
why do I feel like
To the start of a castle, but it seems like there's something missing.
It's a gigantic city that's in a crater of the moon.
Lovely.
It looks like the bottom is like cut off.
going into the lake with Jar Jar Binks, and I find this giant city of people.
Now, I can tell you right now, certain of you know of this city. In fact, now that you see it, it comes to mind for some of you. Namely, pretty much everyone here now recalls. Those of you that are Avengers recall it, and some of you have actually been here before. This is Atalan, the city of the Inhumans. And who are the Inhumans? Something that we will get to in a moment. But for right now, something else happens to occur as you notice that as you're looking around, I need a vigilance check from everybody.
And
I thought I had something that affects this.
Yeah.
You're attuned to the dimensions and such, Clea, so for you, it's easy for you to notice this.
Well, yeah, I got a marble, so.
Hyperion acting this on.
All right. All right, for those of you that actually got a 15 and above, you notice this appears before you. You see a sight unknown to you.
A dog.
A gigantic bulldog, a colossal bulldog. The largest dog you've ever seen. He's about the size of a pony.
We need a vigilance check to see this thing. Jesus.
Yes, you're like, what is that?
Hi, buddy.
And
Hi, buddy.
yeah, you see that basically, as I said, you see that he stands 5 feet at the shoulder, nearly 7 feet in length, and looks to weigh well over 1,000 pounds for sure. Oddest of all, a metal tuning fork pokes out of his forehead, glowing with a faint energy. And you see that immediately, since you now notice him, he looks over at you all and definitely barks over at you in acknowledgement. And he comes over. And stands before you.
I'd say, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
And you see that he puts his head down.
And I rub his little thingy, and I'm like, who's a good boy?
And he starts shaking his tail, and he's like all happy, and he's
to help us.
And immediately he starts to lick your face.
And I say, who wants to help us get into the city? Who wants to? Come on.
He's just slobbering you over.
All right. Down boy. All right.
Sounds like fun.
All right. Can we climb on your back and you take us to the big city, the one that flows?
You see that he looks over at you all, and he seems to look like as if he definitely understands you. And you see that basically he seems to communicate with barking, of course, as he hasn't indicated any other kind of communication speech. And basically just seems to wait to see if you'll do something.
Well, I asked him a question. I'm waiting for him to respond to me with his words.
All right, I'm going to need the following from you. I will need a logic check, since you asked that situation.
Okay. Do I get
check just for? Is this check just for her?
Well, she's the one who conveyed communicating with him, so that's why she's going to get the check right now.
Anybody else could roll.
Not as of yet.
Does my investigation for an edge on logic checks, since I'm trying to interpret something?
I will let you have the edge.
Okay. I'm going to need.
Okay. You're not exactly sure how you would be able to communicate with him, but at this point now I open it up to the rest of the characters.
I'm going to try and communicate.
You're going to try to what?
Communicate with him. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can.
Because I have fun interpretation. I'm just going to try to.
Okay, excellent. Give me that roll.
Hang on.
Do you have edge? That is correct. Okay. All right. You understand, being that since he's a dog, he responds better with emotions because dogs have empathy with people. And you feel that using more emotion in conveying your feelings and thoughts to the animal would probably get you a little bit better results from him. And then at that point, that means that you'll have to start using an ego check in order to do that. And since this is an animal, to what intelligence you're not sure, but he seems to look very intelligent, it will be a challenging check.
All right, so who's got a pretty good ego? I got a 14. What do you have? What do you have?
Warlock has a ego of 19.
Okay.
Does anyone here have powerful hex?
No.
Okay. Just a question I needed to ask.
It's not a trait, right?
No, it's a power.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't have it.
Okay.
Well, Warlock, I think that you should convey some emotion.
All right, so I'm going to give you guys one check right now. Everyone, give me a logic check.
I have edge on logic checks that against things that I'm doing for the first time. I just posted it in chat, I think.
Not a problem.
See it.
Give me
Fresh
your rolls.
eyes.
I also have the same thing. So
this is non-combat, right?
That is correct. Non-combat rolls at this point.
18 logic.
Remember what I said, non-combat rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I don't think you're understanding.
yeah, these are non-combat.
Combat rolls.
These are
Oh, these are non-combat?
Yeah, who
Oh,
is not a non-combat?
Okay, I wasn't sure because I didn't see anything that indicated non-combat, but okay. All right, not a problem.
Damage if it was combat.
Okay, so since it's non-combat, each of you understand that if you can use any mode of communications that is not speech, you could, and it will most likely understand you. But there are other forms of communication in which you can convey direct mental links, and if any of you have those kind of powers, that might benefit you even more.
Okay, I don't.
What's telepathic link?
I have this, but I don't think it's like.
No, that would be for magic and sus.
Anybody have command? Anybody have telepathic link? Anybody have anything like that?
What are you saying, Sean? Anybody have what?
Telepathy or anything.
What, Amanda?
Telepathic link, or any such thing.
I have telepathic link.
Do you have also telepathic network?
Yes.
Is that something you would wish to convey to the team and have them all link together?
Yeah, I can do that. How do I do that?
Okay, so first of all, display the telepathic link first, and then display the, there you go, thank you. Alright, so you're going to include them? Okay, so you include everyone, including the bulldog?
Sure, yeah, why not?
Okay.
We need
So,
to figure out
the
what the
moment,
heck's saying.
all right, not a problem. Go ahead and spin the focus on it. And the minute you cast your spell, which, by the way, guys, I did create macros for certain things you guys can do. If you click on your token, Clea, you will notice that you have... There you go.
Assemble.
You have a spell casting one. You can do the general one. You have a macro button.
Why don't I get spellcasting?
There you go. Thank you. All right. So you cast your spell, and everybody is now mentally linked, including the dog. And then the first thing you pick up in your minds is the dog is spelling out with letters in his mind. And you see he puts together a name, Lockjaw.
Hello, Lockjaw.
I was like, that's a really nice name.
And with that, he goes. And then at that point, you notice that he conveys the following to you all somewhat. More with imagery than anything. You know what I'm saying? He's wanting to convey this message to you. So, first of all, you now find out that he's your contact here on the moon. If you didn't realize that already. And you see that he looks over at the small building that you were nearby. And you see that with that, he starts moving over to the building. Do you follow him?
Yes.
All right, so he goes and stands in front of the door to the building, and then he steps aside and begins to look at you all. And he waits. What do you want to do? You're
Well,
pretty
where's
much,
the building? Right now, it
pretty
looks
much
like
you
it's
see it
floating
right
in
here.
space.
This is the building right here. Okay? Right here.
Okay.
He's standing right in front of the door here, and the door is right there. So the question is what do you want to do?
I want to.
I'd like to convey to him that we're here to help. And we understand that there's a mission to protect this world. If he could guide us.
And he barks twice.
Well, where do we need to go?
And he looks at the door when you say that.
Excellent. Any dangers ahead that we should know of? Specific dangers, like in the next room kind of thing.
He gives a little bit of a whine on that one.
Okay.
Does anybody have defense or attack sense or anything? I think we should set that up immediately.
I don't have any of that.
You're afraid of me, right?
All right,
John,
so if you don't have defensive stance or anything, if you feel you need to activate it, do so.
I don't know if it's just me, but Sean, you sound like you're underwater and very far away.
Or he can talk louder.
All right, can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
Sorry
Okay.
about that.
We had connected to a speaker to hear you guys better. So I think the speaker was just making us sound weird.
Okay, so I want to use my supernatural sense.
Okay.
Hey, does anybody have ESP?
I do. That's what I was looking for. ESP to
Because-
hear things. Yes, that's what I was looking for. I want to see if I hear anybody.
See everybody. What? How far is it? Like 50
100
spaces?
spaces.
100 spaces.
Well,
Remember,
I
a
wanna-
space is 5 feet long.
Oh my gosh.
So I also have astral form, and my thought was if I could see if there's any supernatural bodies out there.
The minute you do that, you will fall into a deep trance. Your
I'm
body
aware.
will fall to the
I
ground.
would use astral form while the team protects my body to scout ahead, and then we can
No
make
problem. You do begin to do
Yeah,
that.
so I would say let Alyssa roll an ESP check right now so that way she can see what she feels, because she will be able to decipher if she feels like
Yeah,
They're ready
you're all in
like
a telepathic network. So even though Adam Warlock just went astral, the telepathic link is still there, and you can still communicate with Adam Warlock because you're in a
But why
telepathic.
don't you go in, Warlock? Why don't you go through there and see what you see? Nobody will see you.
So I feel like I'd like to establish first if my sense supernatural registers.
Then we need to make a roll, as
Any-
it says in there, for you to make. I think it's an ego
Perfect.
check, and it's a non-combat. I think if it says indicates in there, unless you have to make an attack one for some reason. I don't know.
It's non-combat, but let me double check.
Post it out again.
I
so
need
we
to
can
make.
look at it.
I don't believe I need to make any roll unless the villains inside want to remain hidden. So technically,
Yes,
unless
you would have to make a roll just to see if you do bypass the defenses of anyone that's trying to. hide
According to
themselves.
this,
it doesn't say that though. It says
Not an
that
attack, a check. It says a
Ralph,
check, right?
I'm gonna post it again,
No.
but I think you're thinking of a different ability. Mine says that if they're within 100 feet of me, and they're not trying to hide themselves. I just know.
Right, and since you don't know if they are or not, you need to make a check. That's my whole point to everyone. Any power you have that says if someone's trying to hide their presence, you need to make the roll. You
Not
make
you.
the roll because you don't know if they are. That's my point.
Okay.
So that's why you would need to make the roll. And it's a check only. So that means a non-combat check.
Yep.
Now, see, that's what I was asking about. Because if you notice it says non-combat on it, that's what it should be saying when you make non-combat rolls.
It didn't do that when we pressed the other one, and I promise you it was non-combat, because if it were combat, there would be damage associated to it.
Okay. All right, so then you make that check, and you reach out to sense the presence of supernatural people, places, or things within 100 spaces per rank.
500 spaces.
Yes, 500 spaces out. You seem to cover into the city, deep into the city, and you see that you seem to get a presence of something for a moment before it cuts out, and you sense it towards the center of the city.
Okay. And what about in my near vicinity? Nothing?
In your near vicinity, nothing. Nothing supernatural for now.
I let the team know. Since we're connected telepathically.
Okay, now somebody else did a check, ESP, I think. Was that a logic check for you, Alyssa?
I think it's just to not be detected.
Right.
It says I don't need to make a check unless
Right.
the target's
Make the check because you don't know if they are trying to prevent it. You don't know. That's why I'm
He's
asking you to
saying
make the
that
roll.
Even though what he's saying, Alyssa, is that even though he knows, he doesn't want you to know.
But it tells you you
And
must,
I need to-
For
and-
the sense,
make
he
a logic.
wants you to roll even if they aren't hiding.
But in the description it says
Yeah,
you
the
must-
description's like the description doesn't say. Yeah. Okay. All right. So a logic check. All right.
Yeah.
Fine.
I think this is more so a Ralph preference, guys.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
All right. 15.
Yeah, you don't seem to. You sense mines everywhere. They're everywhere. There's an entire city of mines in there. Living beings.
Can I have you focus on the center of the city?
Unfortunately, she doesn't have a scrying thing. Yes. Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, we're good.
I heard a weird noise there. Was that
Dude.
somebody's...
Okay, that was the balloons you're turning off.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. It was very something isn't working.
Yes, that's what I was thinking there. Thank you. You read my mind on that one. I must be on the telepathic network with you.
Okay, so having sensed a superhuman being somewhere in the center of the city, I think that two things should be noted. One, they are probably now aware of us. Two, because if they were able to hide from me, it's for a reason. And then, at least, that's what I'm suspicious of. And then, two, having a general vicinity knowledge of where they are means I can teleport us all the way over there. So I'd like to do that.
Well, the thing is Lockjaw seems to be waiting for you to do something. As he's looking at the door again, once again.
Okay, I opened the door, bro. Jeez.
No, you're in astral form, so you wouldn't be able to
I'm
do
not
it.
in astral form, Ralph. I said that before any astral anything happens, I would like a resolution to the first thing that I did.
I had said that I opened the door before we even started rolling for ESP.
Okay, so you open
Yeah.
the door, and this is what you see.
Just to be clear, the only status on me right now is flying.
Yeah.
Okay, please indicate it on your token.
Oh, yeah.
Aspen did that unless it fell off when we changed maps.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes,
am also
indicate
flying.
it again. Every time we change maps, you're going to have to redo your token.
Okay,
icons.
noted. I was
Okay.
not sure of that.
Let's put the wings on. Where are the wings?
At the bottom. If you scroll down all the way down, you'll see the wings.
Well, that looks like a halo.
I'm not able to control or interact
Angel
with
outfit?
anything. Oh, there I am. Okay, I was able to click around. Perfect.
What was your question, Sam? You were trying to say something?
I saw wings, but it said angel outfit.
Yeah, that's it though.
That's fine.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's either a set of wings, like the side of the set of wings that you can see there, and then there's the angels down there too. Either one is fine.
Okay.
I'm
Alright, added it to me.
All right, so the minute you open the door for him,
Would you rather have Fluffy with
he now,
Okay.
yeah, you notice that Lockjaw actually enters the building now. So he goes in, and Clea, now those of you that want to join him can step into the building. As you can see, I've already stepped in. And you notice that when he goes in, he goes up to a bank of monitors. You see that inside is a bank of security monitors. So you can tell this must be some kind of guard station, currently unoccupied. He goes over and he noses and paws at a couple of large buttons, causing the displays to light up with the recordings from all over Atalan. So you see that immediately, showing on the monitor screen at the spaceport aerodome area, you see a vessel just materializes in the middle of the spaceport. And coming out of it is Kang, well known to some of you. Kang the Conqueror. And with that, I'm actually now going to do the short video for us to know a little something about him before we proceed further, because you'll need to have some knowledge of the character to be able to handle what comes next. So let me find which one. So here it is. Let me know you can see the screen.
Yes, we can.
All right, here we go, guys. Here's information about Kang.
Kang the Conqueror is just one of the most ridiculous characters in the history of Marvel Comics. Check this out. So this guy, of course, is a time traveler, as most of you guys know. And this guy has access to technology of the future, including force fields that have been able to withstand a nuclear bomb at point-blank range, the power of Thor's hammer, and even the Silver Surfer, who at that point in time was able to tank Thanos. This guy possesses weapons from every point in time that he can access at a moment's notice, including an antimatter bomb. He's also said to be the greatest military mind in history, and his willpower is strong enough that he was able to resist reality warping, which is just absolutely nuts. Now, if that's not enough, this guy not only conquered Earth, but was able to conquer multiple universes to the point that in the future, he has an empire that includes millions of worlds across the entirety of the Milky Way galaxy, and even throughout the entirety of the multiverse. This guy rules whole universes. It's nuts. Make sure you guys follow for more.
And now you see how dangerous this person is. Now. So you see him appear on the bank of monitors, right? So basically what happens with that is that he arrives, and you notice that it looks like some guards come over around him to surround him. He seems to speak with them, and they escort him. You notice that they seem to escort him into the heart of the city towards what looks to be a palace of some sort, which seems to stand at the center of the city. You notice that when they take him in, at that point the monitors switch to the inside of the palace and show his presence going up to have an audience with the royal family. And they come up to the king and the queen along with other members of the royal family, who you see is Crystal, Gorgon, Karnak, and you see Lockjaw himself. So he begins to convey to them and tells them about the impending arrival of a being known as Galactus, a devourer of worlds. Who here is familiar with Galactus? I will need a yay or nay.
Yes, familiar.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay. Now, As you well know from him, his presence is utterly dangerous. And Kang says to them that he's been working on an escape plan to be able to safely transport the people of this Earth to another one in a different dimension. And he begins to show them holographic projections of another Earth. Guess whose? Yours.
Oh, wow.
So you see that when he does that, it now cuts through to another set of he plays with the buttons a bit. Evidently, this dog has no mere dog intelligence. He's much more than that. And you see that he plays around with the buttons again, and then it goes to a scene further on where it looks like as if that procedure failed because the incursion on the other Earth was prevented by the rank 4 heroes, as you well know. So when that failed, due to the interference on the other side, Kang seems to shift tactics to stop the impending catastrophe. So you see that he says that what he says to them is he says that he can save them still, even though that has happened, but for that he would need to have access to their city's technology and such, and certain people in the royal family. Well, it looks like as if the king and the queen and the wisdom suspected treachery of some sort. And as you can see, the king doesn't seem to speak at all. In fact, not once do you see him speak in the video. In fact, the person talking is the queen through him. He seems to do certain gestures which she seems to understand and seems to be able to convey exactly what he's saying. And you can tell that it's not even telepathy. It's just either they know each other extremely well, or they have a form of communication that's just unknown to you for right now. So you see that he basically says, okay, he produces a heavily modified piece of equipment, and it looks like an odd helmet. And he tells them, he says, I retrieved this helmet from Dr. Doom. It is a heavily modified piece of equipment from his now abandoned lab. With this, I will be able to save you. So they're like, okay. They seem to be suspicious, but yet don't seem to do anything yet. And then Kang says, watch as I save you all. He then mounts the helmet on his head. The moment he puts the helmet on his head, a blinding flash of light lights up in the room, and the entire royal family is now seems to be in mental domination immediately. All of them look to be firmly under his control.
So like he has dominated them is what
Yes, immediately. The moment he donned the helmet and it gave off a flash of light, seems like it dominated them immediately. Now, of course, being the vast genius he was, even vast geniuses have their downsides. He made a critical error. He mistook Lockjaw for a simple dog, unnecessary to control. But when Lockjaw realized what was happening, as you see in the video, he seemed to just go along, and then at that point, you notice that the video goes on to show that Kang is setting up some sort of chamber that he creates in the center of the throne room. He has Black Bolt step into it and have Black Bolt do the impossible. He begins to scream. You notice that the power contained in that chamber seems to get basically collected and begins to manifest through his voice. You know that Black Bolt of the Inhumans, who's the king of the Inhumans, his power is he has control over vibrations and sound to the point and level that if he was to scream, it has the same effect as a nuclear bomb. That's how powerful Black Bolt is. The merest whisper is capable of destroying buildings. Yet Kang has now begun to channel this almost inexhaustible energy, and a beam of light is seeming to go out of the palace and up towards an unknown end. At this point, you notice Lockjaw teleports away in the video. And with that, he then turns to you. And in his mind, you see, he shows you in his mind him teleporting down to Earth to where Spider-Woman was. And you see that he's actually talking to her, barking, and she seems to somewhat understand him. And then she's like, since you're reading his thoughts, the conversation is mental, but he's conveying the image that Spider-Woman says, "Ah, yes, I understand. We need help." And with that, you notice that that's when she begins to get on the monitor control that she has there in the laboratory that they have the portal technology, and begins to alert Fury at that point. And then, of course, you are now caught up to now. So now we're at this point. And you see Lockjaw looks over at you and seems to wait to see if you say anything or do anything. You see a question mark appear in his telepathic link.
I reach out to him with my emotions and I ask him something to the effect of like, if he knows where Kang is currently.
And with that, give me an ego check.
There it is. 24.
Excellent. All right, he definitely understands what you're saying to him, and he looks out from the building, and he looks at the palace.
Is the palace where I sense that superhuman?
That's where you sensed it. All of a sudden you were blocked.
Are there any allies that we can rely on for this mission other than you?
And he begins to whine.
No. I'll take that as a no. Guys, I can teleport us there. Well, I can portal us there.
He does say the he does do the following. He goes back to the tapes and he starts hitting the buttons again. And you notice that he does come up with one section on there that he shows that he hadn't shown you before.
Okay.
And you see basically he shows a secondary part of what he's talking about, where he says that he traveled both across space and time from ancient Egypt, that he has a device known as the chronofact that will supply him with the necessary power for this plan. And at that point, that's when he asked for their help and said that he would need them. But little did they know that he meant utter control.
Do we then get the feeling that Lockjaw wants us to disrupt this energy?
You think he's utterly concerned about the entire royal family and to stop Kang.
So protect innocent lives before we go against adversary.
Well, definitely he's all about protecting the royal family first, and then of course everybody else in the city. But
and where's the royal family in relation to the castle? Could he draw a mental picture for us?
He shows you a picture of what would be the inside of the entrance hall, the main hall, and he also shows you the palace. But well, he looks at it, and he kind of like whines in that direction.
But they're all in a thrall, so even if we take them, who's to say Kang can't sense that through them?
That is correct.
So we need to destroy the thrall.
That would be one thing to do, yes. But definitely right now there's two or threefold plan here.
I was going to say, I feel like this is a split the party situation where someone...
Why? They're all together. Kang is there with the Inhumans right now.
Oh.
The royal family.
With the royal family.
Yes. He's right there in the throne room.
In the same place.
Yeah. They're all there.
So then we just go beat the guy up.
Well, sounds like a plan.
Forward.
If that's your plan.
Cool.
Well,
I think we have some choices. We can portal over to the entrance, unless someone has an alternate. The other option I see is just portal straight into the throne room, since we can. I know what they both look like.
I mean, is there any way to kind of see if there's any other enemies with the ESP, or is that not going to work?
She already tried Clea, and she notices that it's blocked. Whatever, trying to ESP into that section.
Okay. Anybody else, guys?
I mean, there is the option of going into astral form and checking things out before we go, but I don't know that that's ever been in our favor.
Well, the only time that we've used astral form was when we were all forced into the astral plane.
And we are already linked, so you could all communicate with us, and we can jet over once you cancel astral form through your portal.
My fear is if, God forbid, there's another character in the astral plane, and then it's you. You know what I mean? Just you against them.
I am actually more concerned with anyone being made aware of our coming than anything else. I would rather take them by surprise than let them have any villainy points, or whatever the heck they're called.
Oh, yeah.
Sinister plot points, which are being used at this time with the new Spider-Verse book that came out.
Yeah. So if
that's my plug, by the way.
If if they find out that we're here, boom, instant advantage. So I kind of like the surprise evil when we can.
Yeah, I agree. And you're still telepathically linked, correct? So
yeah, the telepathic link is running. Network, actually. Telepathic network is running. All of you are connected into it. You're all in thought processes together. You don't even need to talk out loud anymore. You can just think to each other. That's what a telepathic link will encourage. Yeah, it's a network, basically.
Yeah.
You're in a network. So.
And then we can plan our next move while you're still in astral form, so you can play tricks or something to distract them if need be.
I think that astral form is not the point of just speaking outside of character of Warlock. He's more go kill the things than hide and do tricks on people. So I think he'd go more direct. I feel like astral form makes sense in a case where we want to be scouting ahead. My point being that if I feel like scouting ahead in this situation might bite us in the ass.
I was just going off with the element of surprise of what you were saying earlier. That's all.
I couldn't surprise him really with astral form. Astral form would actually be the opposite of that, because he would be made aware of me and therefore you guys coming.
Well, remember, astral forms are invisible.
Things in there.
Right.
Unless he can see into the astral
that
form
is
that
correct.
you said has all the powers of all the fucking universes. Or another detection ability. Like, I don't know what Kang has.
That is correct, you do not. But you do know that he's based on technology mainly. Everything is technological for him.
So, I could go there in astral form, to your point, Sam. But what's the difference between me just putting a portal and all of us showing up at the same time? And I've seen the room, so I could, in theory, just put it right behind the freaking throne and, like, quick surprise. I'm leaning towards that direction.
I like that idea, but the portal can be small, or is it going to be something giant?
It's something that we need to be able to walk through. So
Yeah, and remember, for
At least
for
a small
anyone that
portal.
has portal use, which I'll convey again, if you look at your power, you have to know the area. You have to have seen it.
You have to have seen it. Mm-hmm. That's why I said I've seen it via picture. So
True.
thank you, Lockjaw, for the convenient video.
Well, hang on. Here's another option that I'm thinking of too. So since we have a where is it? Like a picture of it, whatever. I wonder if there's a way for us to, instead of being like in there while they're already in there, I have time portal, which maybe I can create a portal, but like we show up before they do, like in time, like we go back in time using my portal.
You really want to mess with the timeline? Do you think that's a smart idea already?
Show up in the room before he does.
I'm not sure that he's opening a portal though. We are.
No, I'm saying, but
She's
to where
talking
he
about
is.
time travel.
I'm basically saying let's like time travel to before he was in the room, so that way we're already in the room.
You. Okay, that I'm so sorry. My brain did not catch that. I'm with you now. I think that's a good idea, but Ralph, why are you throwing pebbles in the road? Can we do a logic check against the
Yes,
GM?
please make a logic check against the DM. The narrator, please.
The narrator. 13.
I got an 18.
Okay. America, you realize that you do have control over time and portals, but he is the master of time. You don't know whether he might throw you back somewhere where you may not want to go.
I have a question. When Kang can perceive into the astral plane,
Well, you can. You can all go into the astral plane because you're in a telepathic network, and you can all go into the astral plane if you wanted to. But currently, right now, that's not something that would be feasible to do because there's nothing there for you to do unless you're planning something out. But just remember that the minute you enter the astral plane, your bodies drop down unconscious, and you're all very, very susceptible to being killed.
Here's what this is I think the direct route, and obviously I don't think we have to go with this particular one, but relying on a portal. So here's the power summon portal.
Okay.
So you have that contrast with the time portal. I kind of see Ralph's point though, Amanda. So maybe the normal portal makes more sense here. And then I also happen to have this power, images of icon, which essentially makes duplicates of me.
Yes, it does. It's like mirror image in D&D.
Yeah, and they can go up and pretend like they're hitting and missing and all
Well,
that.
the characters here, of course, you're all familiar with it. You saw Shandu the Mystic use it in that other combat, so you're familiar with the icons, images of icon.
So I feel like this could get us a nice element of surprise while you guys get in there, position yourselves, and hopefully evade it getting hit because of these protection barrier illusions. And we go straight at Kang. Position ourselves between the royal family and Kang, and try not to kill them if they try to fight us, because I think they're going to try to fight us. I could also...
The minute you say that, Lockjaw goes...
I could also enable elemental barrier to protect us to some degree from any attacks from them. So, like, you know, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. What does Lockjaw say? Sorry, Ralph. I was on a train of thought.
No, I was saying that when you say that, he barks. He just barks to an acknowledgement, is what he's doing.
Amanda, you were trying to say something, but you were muted if you thought we heard you.
He like smiled at you. That's what he did.
I like that. Doggy smiles. I pet his does he like being petted? I ask first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
does it,
Where's
yeah.
scratchy spot? I scratch that.
And he begins snorting at you.
Cool.
You're doing doggy stuff.
All right, so we just poured.
Wow.
Is that what we're doing?
Wow.
So
This is supposed to be PG, remember?
It is. He's doing doggy stuff. Scratching behind his ear. Scratching the side with his leg. That's
Okay.
doggy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
While wagging his tail.
And wagging his tail. Okay, so what would you like to do?
let's portal in.
You're going to portal in?
Levante, so I'm gonna go ahead and summon this portal. That is 15 focus. It's a concentration thing, but I'm gonna immediately close the portal behind me when we walk through, just FYI.
All right, so as you're getting ready to do that, something happens. You see that immediately Lockjaw's tuning fork begins to glow. In fact.
Okay.
You see that basically it begins doing the following. He's glowing now. You see him glowing?
Yes, I do.
And then all of a sudden, all of you disappear and go somewhere else. Here we go.
Let's go.
So do I summon the portal or do I
No,
not?
this is before you did it. And then all of a sudden you see you appear before someone. And you see
The guy is so tall, we don't need a logic check to see
you
him.
see this person. If you recognize who that is.
Yes.
Hi.
You recognize him as Uatu, the Watcher.
The Watcher.
And you see that when you appear before him, he immediately looks over at you. And he goes, "Greetings. I am Uatu the Watcher. You are not from this universe. What are you doing here?"
We are here to protect it. And the innocent lives.
He waits to see if anyone else says something.
No, I say nothing.
I am the paladin. I puff up like that.
Solely just protection and nothing more.
All right, and then he says the following to you because of that. Says, "I see what you are about to do. I warn you now that the danger you will face is very great, and it will not be what you expect it to be. The power you now face is much greater than your own."
Any insight on what we can expect to have a better outcome?
He says, "I have seen countless possibilities. Some where Kang is victorious and others where he is not. What transpires here will be up to you."
So what are the how do we get to the timelines where he is not? Or one of those possibilities where he's not successful?
I do not wish to help. That is not my role.
So
However,
intervene?
there are other ways and other avenues to do things.
How?
He says, as I said, I have seen countless possibilities. Some where he is victorious and others where he is not. What transpires here will be up to you. You must determine the fate of this universe.
So if you know this, then why ask us why we're here?
He says, because my role is not to intervene, but simply to watch.
By summoning us here, it seems like you are doing more than just watching, wouldn't you think?
No. I will return you to the precise moment I removed you from. No time will have elapsed for the people of Adelan. When he says that, you now notice that nothing around you seems to be moving, except yourselves and him.
So what purpose does you questioning us serve in the outcome of this situation, circumstance?
He says, I have seen where you hail from. You have troubles to be certain, but your people live with far more peace and freedom than the humans do below us.
All right, outside of character. What the fuck did he just say?
Alright, so at this point now, it looks like as if we're going to need to give you a lesson in watcherdom. So here we go.
Wait, before you start, could you repeat what you just said?
What he mentioned to you, right?
Yeah, the last thing you just said with him.
What he said to you is that I have seen where you hail from. You have troubles to be certain, but your people live with far more peace and freedom than the humans do below us.
And that was in response to, why are you talking to us?
Yes. And don't you get the message from that?
Doesn't answer my question. I'm asking about his motives.
Right.
I want to
and
why
what did
he
he mention at the very end of that sentence?
People below us.
Right.
That the people below us.
Right. Have far more troubles than you do, than your people.
What does that have to do with his purpose in calling
And that explains why we're there.
It's his way of helping. Without
He's
helping.
below us.
This is why I
He's
mentioned
not helping. He's just wasting my time.
that's the way you see it, but you're not an extra-dimensional cosmic being.
We already knew it was gonna be hard. We already knew the guy is
Right.
evil. We already knew that the people here needed saving. All he did was ask us why I don't like this man.
And with that, we're going to now go to this. Let us now get to know Uatu a little
Instant
better.
negative impression of a person.
Let us get to know him a little better so you understand his motives. He has been a very confusing being to many heroes over the years. Alright, so, do you see?
Yes.
Alright, here we go. Read. And you need to read this.
Imagine being the supreme witness to every secret in creation and surrendering the gift of life for it. That's precisely what befell Uatu, the Watcher. Uatu's job was clear: observe only, never interfere. But his whistleblower curiosity and compassion for Earth's heroes sometimes brought him dangerously close to violating that oath. All hell breaks loose in the original Sin storyline. Someone cold-bloodedly murders Uatu, steals his precious eyes, and reveals the secrets he's kept for thousands of years. The killer, Nick Fury. That's right, the man on the wall himself. Fury had needed Uatu's cosmic knowledge to prevent threats to Earth, but that came at a horrible price. Not only did this act end Uatu's life, it broke trust throughout the cosmos. And Fury, he paid too, becoming the new cursed Watcher, doomed to carry Uatu's burden. Uatu's death wasn't simply shocking, it was a cosmic game changer.
So that you know, that was Nick Fury Sr., his father, who did this.
Oh, heck no.
Is this Uatu or who is this?
The white Nick Fury is the one who did this. And by the way, remember, that is the origin and thing about that Uatu. Our Uatu from our dimension, from your dimension, helps and breaks his oath sometimes. This is another Earth, another universe. In this one, it seems that guy never broke his oath, otherwise Hydra Earth probably never would have existed.
That makes so much more sense to me. Got it.
That's why he's like, why am I going to help you? So now you understand him a little bit better. But evidently he's curious to a certain point. So this one is very much like the Uatu of your Earth, except that this one doesn't break it as often, or almost never breaks it.
Or hasn't been caught, because he hasn't been kicked out by Watcher World.
Right. And he hasn't been murdered. Your Uatu has been, but he came back. Alright, so with that, he waits to see if you have any other questions. Anything?
So you're here only to observe, by your own admission. I wonder if you have any knowledge to provide about the circumstances.
He's not going to provide anything. All he wants to do is ask us questions.
He says your solution, he says, as I said, because it's not my role to intervene, simply to watch, I can tell you that your solution is in your past, or in the past of this world.
We don't know about the past of this world. Lockjaw, can you give us...
And with that, you see Lockjaw's tuning fork glows again.
Fly me to
and you go back to your place where you were. And time resumes again.
Alright, so the only thing that we know of the past is how this circumstance unfolded itself. Is there any other relevant information that we need to know, Ralph?
Give me a logic check.
Since this is new information, I get a thing with fresh eyes, edge.
Okay.
And so logic... Wait, don't I have a thing that says roll ego instead of logic?
No, because this is mainly information in your head, not you trying to convince anyone to do something. Excellent. Okay. So, because you got a marvel, because you got a fantastic success, I'm going to tell her exactly what it is she needs to do. You were given the story about the fact that you were shown by Lockjaw, the videotapes, showing you everything that transpired between the Kang and the royal family.
Taking over their mind, yeah.
Yes, and of course at this time he told them that he was calling himself Godking Kang, is what he called himself in this universe. But not only that, but he also happened to mention something about ancient Egypt, if you recall. That he had a power source back there that could be used to help him save the world. Do you recall that part of the story that was mentioned?
Too vaguely. I didn't remember it being ancient Egypt.
That's why I'm giving you this information now. You got a fantastic success. And you were given that information on that by Lockjaw, but then Uatu of this universe mentioned something to you just now before he threw you back. And what was
the
that?
The people that are lower than us are more trouble.
No.
Or have more troubles.
No. The solution to your problem lies in this past.
I think that it's in that recording we saw essentially from Lockjaw, and signaling to. You think we should teleport or portal to
time travel together to the past? Let's find out what happened.
The problem is you don't know where. But what do you recall about Kang and what happened in the beginning of this situation?
He put on a helmet and took over their brains.
Before that?
Yeah, he told them that he could save them.
No. Before he even got here, when he arrived, what did he arrive in?
Space shuttle.
He arrived in what looked to be some kind of time platform.
Time flying form?
Yeah,
what?
He arrived in a device.
In a time portal device?
Yes. Which is at the Aerodome, remember?
Okay.
He wasn't allowed to take it with him.
So we could go get it. Go back to Egypt with it. Because it should be able to track its own.
Right, remember what I said. He's all about technology. So what would be on the device? It would have records.
Yes. Okay, so
you still have a choice. You can still try to confront him and try to see if you can go through that way, or you can do the suggestion that Uatu mentioned.
Well, if Uatu's saying that the success lies in the past, then we need to go back.
Do we know what the dome looks like?
You know the area. Well, you know somebody that does know where the dome looks like.
Lockjaw.
No, I need to have seen it, so his description wouldn't work in this case.
Right, but who are we talking about that Amanda just mentioned?
Huh?
The doggy.
Right, and what have he shown that he can do?
He can show us images.
No, he can do more than that. What has he been doing?
He can teleport.
Exactly.
Okay,
teleport.
Lockjaw, can you please take us to this place? We'd appreciate it.
And he shakes his head like, where are you talking about?
The Aerodome.
Ah, okay. When you do that, give me an ego check to convey your desire to go there. Okay, not a problem. And with that, you notice that his tuning fork immediately lights up again, and
I'm rolling like a paladin on this. What's effectively a charisma check.
I love it.
Boom.
Remember to set your statuses again, guys.
The second we go there.
All right. You now see yourself at the
I
Aerodome.
love not having Fred Karma on any of this.
You guys see where you're at, right?
Indeed.
All right. You see right before you is this device.
Ah, excellent.
Cute.
Who's smart enough to jump into this and like hack it or whatever?
It looks like a pedicure chair.
Well, first of all, who's going to go up to it?
Well, I just threw a vigilance check, and I would like to know if I see anything out of the ordinary.
First of all, somebody would have to approach it and get up to it to look at the device. Who wants to get up close enough to do it?
Hyperion has a DR of 3. Does anyone else have a DR of 3?
I have 33.
Yes, but we need you. So
I'll do one better. I'm also going to put up an elemental barrier.
Oh, good. Do that.
Putting it up around you, around the party.
Around myself.
Okay, no problem. All right, so then at that point, you're going to put something around you, and we can easily do something with that. There you go. Got a little thing around you there. And we bring it up.
Can we figure out who's getting in the spa chair?
That's why I put a
I'll
barrier.
sit in the spot. I'll sit in the spot chair.
Because I was thinking I could put a protection around us.
So I was thinking putting this protection would protect me against them, against like whatever attacks me if I go up to it. If you protect them back there, that works out.
Yeah.
Does your barrier allow you to have more than one person in it?
Let me double check.
Because I'll come up with you, and then Photon can be with Clea and Hyperion.
All right,
But
so
then you're not alone.
so Photon went up, and so did America Chavez, and Warlock is there with a
But hang on, I'm asking
barrier.
in the barrier.
I can put a protection against the three of us if
Okay.
we're all together.
So are you extending the protection again?
I am going to extend it.
Then you will have to respend the focus to encompass them now.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not going to do that then.
Okay, no problem.
I can do it when I get there, when I figure out which one it is. I think it's this one. Elemental barrier?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Alright, I'm taking 5 off.
Okay, no problem. And you want to make it how big?
Cover everybody behind you. And around you.
Yeah. And whatever best makes sense to protect the spa chair and the people in it. Person in it.
Wait a minute, repeat that. You want to make it to cover you only, or you in the spa chair?
Me in the spa chair.
Are you going in the spa chair? I thought I was going in the spa chair.
Whoever was going in the spa chair. I was just putting...
I'm already protecting myself.
I thought Amanda was in the spa chair.
No, I came up so that way one of you
Okay,
guys
then
can be
ignore
your
me.
protection.
Ignore me then.
You're not putting up the barrier?
You can put it up and protect everyone
You can
around
still be up there.
Yeah.
You can still be up there, Sam. Nobody said you can't.
Yeah, like if I were in your shoes, I would just protect yourself and Chavez if you go up there.
Okay, I'm very confused, but let's do it.
Okay. All right.
So,
you're gonna
so you
protect
spend 5
yourself
bucks. Now put a circle around us
and the chair.
and the chair.
Okay.
Why are we protecting the chair?
I don't know.
They're not. They're trying to protect anything that happens from the chair to the party. They contain themselves within a barrier with the chair is what they did.
So what it looks like is that they are inside of a barrier where if the chair say explodes, they would be the only
Correct. That is correct.
I don't think that's what any of our goals were.
Then you can't touch it if there's a barrier to the chair. Do you understand that?
That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so technically then what you're saying is that the thing I said I was going to go do to be able to touch this chair wouldn't have worked at all. So I have a barrier that I can't touch. I think, Sam, you have to do that, and I can't be in that chair.
Right, because
So-
it's stationary once you put it up.
So your choices are you and Chavez stay in the bubble with the chair. One of you goes in there, and both of you get damaged should shit hit the fan. Or you pick one of you goes in the chair and you protect that person and the chair. So that the person is the only one that is damaged should the chair do its thing.
I was only concerned about putting a barrier up in case someone went in the chair and something else happened. You could get 2 shits if the chair exploded, so I don't know why I need to put a barrier up, if that's what's going to happen.
You don't.
That's what I'm confused about. I don't understand then what the point is.
Ralph indicated that if you want to interact with the chair and you have a barrier up, you have to be contained inside of it. Has to be contained
Right.
inside
It's a
of the barrier.
stationary barrier. It does not move with you.
So if you don't want to put up a barrier,
Right.
none
If
of
you
what I
wanna-
said matters.
Right. If you want to have a protection around you, then you need elemental protection, not elemental barrier. Do you have that power?
Do anything for this situation.
Do you have elemental protection? This is to Sam.
I'm looking.
I mean, I have shield.
The Seraphim?
Elemental
Seraphim?
protection. Elemental protection doesn't do anything in this case because it's extreme heat or extreme cold.
Right. That's just the
but
ability to
Seraphim
survive
is,
in
it's just
extreme
a-
temperatures and space. That's what the elemental protection
The
is.
Seraphim barrier is effectively still a barrier. So to Ralph's point, I guess to clarify is, if we want to interact with this thing and any barriers are involved,
Yeah.
you need to be in the same space as this thing, right? Now, what I would suggest is, I'm the only one who's put up a barrier. I've already protected myself, but I can't interact with this thing.
Well,
Somebody
the other thing is this,
out of a
too.
barrier and go interact with it and see what fucking happens.
Hold on, I'm trying to convey this
A
because
barrier
this
or
is
do
important
whatever.
also. If
Okay.
you want a force field around you that only protects you, then you have to have something called elemental protection on your sheet, and that will protect just you. Then you can interact with something. Unless the barrier itself, the elemental protection, is some kind of damaging energy form. Then you would be just touching something with like fire or something. You know what I'm saying? Now remember, of course, if you have elemental protections, in this game as a reaction, you can put it up if something happens. But it has to say it's a reaction to protect yourself.
It's a permanent.
If it's a permanent, then it's a stationary thing, and you have to indicate where it is.
I mean, that is all well and good, but it doesn't apply at all here. Because even if you have that up or don't have that up, it does, like, this thing exploding doesn't, it's explosion, not extreme heat or extreme cold.
America Chavez, are you getting in this pedicure chair or not?
Sure, sounds great.
All right.
Okay, hold
So-
on. So when she gets in this chair, I put up this barrier in case something hits the fan to protect her from getting hit while she's in this damn pedicure chair. That was the effort of doing that. Now, if the expectation of her getting this pedicure chair is for her to get in there for it to explode, then don't get in the pedicure chair.
Yes, you won't be. If you put up a barrier
I don't-
around her that she's in the chair, she can't interact with it because she can't touch anything around it. Because she can't. There's a barrier preventing her from doing it. That's why I said, in order for her to be anybody to be protected by themselves to be able to interact with something, they have to have elemental protection power. That's listed on a character sheet as elemental protection.
Ralph, I have elemental protection.
So do I.
Then you
There's
can
multiple.
interact with it. Then you can interact with it, or Adam Warlock can.
What is it? The sheet, the barrier, or
No,
pedicure
the chair. You can interact with the chair.
So America Chavez is not interacting with the pedicure chair.
Yes, if she's not going to be the one to interact with it while protected, then yes, you're the
Ralph,
one who can do it.
I need a yes or no. Can Warlock interact with this chair?
If you have yeah, you can interact with it. But the point is,
Warlock
you want to
is
have
going
some kind of
to
protection.
go to. I have elemental protection. I already
Right,
posted it up.
that's fine.
I'm going up to the chair and I am
No,
interacting.
no. That's environmental protection. I said elemental protection. There's a number after that. Elemental protection. Okay, she has it. She has it. But
Excellent. You go interact with this thing. Apparently.
yes.
Okay, my ass is sitting in the pedicure chair with my protection all around me.
Excellent. Go ahead and move yourself there.
I'm so lost.
No, you're not. You're asking the right questions.
Okay.
All right, so you get into the chair and you start looking at the device. Now let me describe it to you. Okay? All right. All right, so you see you're sitting in this chair. It has a lot of monitors and things all around. It looks to be basically has a keyboard input and such. Has also a handprint thing on it, stuff like that of that sort. And a lot of monitors that seem to be around the device. You see basically on there it shows the year, which is your current year. And it has the destination of the moon, Adelan, it says on the monitor right now. Give me a logic check. If you have any kind of scientific ability, of any kind of like scientific expertise or adventure or anything like that, you'll get an edge on that roll.
I have an adventure.
You're not
Yeah, but
there.
you're not interacting with the chair, so it's not you.
Oh.
What was I looking for again? I already lost my train of thought.
Look at the traits and see if you have scientific expertise or
The one before that. What am I trying to find to roll?
a logic check is what I was
Logic.
asking for.
Okay. I couldn't remember what you said because I was too busy listening to the other part.
Okay.
I only have investigation. Does that count as scientific method?
No, unfortunately not. All right, so she goes up and she looks at it and she makes the roll and she doesn't understand any of the mechanics behind this chair. Of course, this is yes, you could get a help teammate at that point.
Help teammate.
Hell yeah. Oops, wrong mouse. That's rude.
You should have done the one.
Oh shit, my bad. Should I redo it?
Well,
somebody else has to help you.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Help teammate.
Okay. Now you're beginning to understand the function behind this chair. As some people are helping you out, and they're going, no, 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 look over there at the keyboard. No, over there, look at that monitor. It seems to be flashing something else. Now, you're looking at it, and you see that this is very reminiscent of what you think is Stark technology. But very, very, very much advanced. You see that you find a section where you can input the year and the location. But you're not sure that if you do that, what might happen.
Mm-hmm.
How would you like to go about it now?
That's a good question. Could she not? I don't know. I mean, couldn't I just become one with the code? Aren't I that type of?
No, there's no way to do that on this ship.
Not sure.
You basically know that you can operate this vehicle, this chair. But if you begin to operate it, you don't know what might happen. But you do know that you can input the destination because you notice that he has a recall button that seems to indicate Egypt.
Oh. And isn't that where we're trying to go? So why don't we just go back to Egypt?
Yeah,
Correct.
we just want to get.
But right now, you're the only one in the chair.
Okay, but can she just tell us where, like, tell us the stuff and then we just time travel back?
Nope. There's no display for it. It just says recall button for Egypt. Doesn't give you any more information. All right. So now you're in the chair. Go ahead.
All right. We're all in the chair. Hyperion, get in the chair.
All right.
Clear?
Taking it right on the magical spa chair.
I don't have anything that's gonna protect me though. So, but you still want me on the chair?
Didn't explode.
Yeah.
All right, okay, I'll touch the chair.
The logic with the two help teammates really helped.
Let's go. I'm on the chair.
Adam, you gonna get on the chair? There's space over here.
Well, come on, Adam. Say, see you later, Lockjaw. Or is he coming with us? Do we have enough space?
You see that when you ask him to come with you, he goes... He growls.
Oh, he said, no way, man.
You don't have beef jerky to lower him onto the
Adam,
ship.
you going on the chair, man?
Who's... Where?
Nice. Do you see the board?
I mean, you want me to physically move the thing
Yes.
in there? We're gonna get stuck in that same position where we can't even click on our own tokens, but okay.
Why don't you try that? There you go.
Oh.
Wrong space. I told you here.
Okay.
That way you let somebody else be able to manipulate your token. There you go. All right. Okay, so at this point, let me get rid of your elemental barrier because you don't have protection, you said, right? Elemental protection, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so I'm getting rid of that. She has it active because she does possess it, and she spent the focus for it. All right, at this point, you now notice that in order to activate this vehicle is going to require an ego check.
You got it.
Anybody want to do it, or you want to do it?
I think Adam's gonna do it.
Yeah.
What's the multiplier on your ego?
9.
Or should I say, what's your number on your ego? That's what I should
19.
have asked. No, the number, not the defense.
The 9?
9?
4.
Okay.
I have a 9 as well, so if yours doesn't, I'll do it.
One operator. Who's it going to be?
It's going to be Adam.
What do you want me to roll, the score or the non-combat?
This would be a non-combat.
Let's go, Adam.
24.
Yeah, I'll definitely do it.
I mean, I just feel like that.
Okay. The moment you do that,
Paladin feeling like a paladin.
The time vehicle begins to operate, and at this point, you see that it begins to do the following.
Oh, shit.
And it now begins, the landscape around you begins to fade, and so does Lockjaw.
Bye, Lockjaw.
I know some of you recognize that sound.
Doctor Who.
Where is he?
Alright, you see, you begin going into the time stream. And as you see vivid colors everywhere, and images of different times and places all around you, as you begin to project yourself and go into the time stream. And then you notice something begin to come into view at that point. You see the following. Oh no, what's coming into view? As the monitors begin to flare to life. And then you see this on the time chair that comes up.
I can't believe Kang stole the TARDIS, bro. Foul play.
And there you go. You see that. Go ahead and click on that so you can see what it is you're looking at.
Oh, great pyramids.
You see you're coming in on Egypt as the recall button was pressed. And then you land in ancient Egypt. And the moment you do that, the scene changes around you. And you see this before you and all around you. This following scene. So maintain that picture up in the center when you click on it. Yes, in fact, it's like nothing you've ever heard of before about Egypt. You see the display shows that you are in 2950 BCE. And you are greeted by a sight you don't find in any history book. It's also green. Gardens filled with flowers, trees, and fountains dot the sandy landscape. The pyramids of Giza stand gleaming, covered in their original marble. And the Great Pyramid has its golden capstone. The Nile flows much closer by the Sphinx, which stands with its original jackal-like face than it does in modern times. High above, technological airships wheel overhead, stylized like Bennu birds. Beautiful people clad in robes make their way through the streets, stopping to pay respects to the priests standing outside the various temples of the gods. But one temple towers over the others. Adjacent to the Sphinx, a massive temple stands with two 60-foot statues of a pharaoh, who some of you know have fought the Avengers, by the name of Rama-Tut, looming over the people of this time. Rama-Tut is actually Kang at an earlier point in his life, having created an empire for himself In ancient Egypt, yes, Ramatut once ruled Egypt. And not only that, but you know that during this time, the Fantastic Four were the ones who actually pushed them out of power at a time when there was an uprising. And you know that you have arrived exactly where you need to be. As you see, you're right outside the city because you needed a certain check and you were easily able to make it. So much so that you arrived exactly inside where you needed to arrive. So, at this time, you see also the following. You see that, as I mentioned before, along the Nile, a huge crowd is lined up on both sides of the river, waving goodbye to a grand procession of boats sailing towards Upper, aka the southern part of Egypt. The boats are a mixture of lavish wooden barges, and along with technology so advanced it's almost alien. Large cannons adorn the central vessel, which looks like it could lift off and fly at any moment. And on top is Pharaoh Ramatut himself, standing resplendent in the sun, leading his army out of the city and into the desert. As he speaks, the mouths of all the robots in the city open and echo his voice booming everywhere. My children! There is a cancer growing in the heart of an eternal kingdom. The rebel miscreant Baal and his treacherous sandstormers think they can defy my will. None may defy Ramatut. I will crush these blasphemous dogs and bring In Sabanor back here. As Horus glorified Osiris, I shall raise him properly to embrace his power and glorify me, your God. At that point, the people begin cheering in unison under the watchful eye of the robots, of course. Oh, Ramatut, you, the King of Truth, the Lord of Eternity, the Prince of Everlastingness, you, Sovereign of all gods, you, God of life, you, Creator of eternity, you, Maker of heaven, all the gods rejoice at your rising. And with that continual chanting continues as the fleet sails down the Nile out of sight. It seems you've arrived at a fortuitous moment. Your enemy has removed himself from your path. At this point, you now see into the city and see the various cities' robots and residents vary greatly on their appearance and what lengths they look. So at this point, you now have insight to the fact that you know you need to go somewhere in this city to find the power supply. Now, with that, we can stop at this moment if you want, or unless you have questions, please go ahead if you have questions.
I do. I just want to make sure I understand what the hell just happened. So we came to a different Earth.
And you're in their Egypt's time period.
Which the Hydra has taken complete control.
Correct.
And in which Kang has managed to infiltrate and take over the minds of all of its inhabitants. He did so by way of a time portal TARDIS-like machine that we have hijacked. It has teleported us to a version, like to the past.
Correct.
Of Earth, a version of the Egypt that we know, and Kang is somehow there?
Yes.
Okay, so we have teleported to before Kang has teleported to where we were teleported.
That is correct.
Okay, cool. Got it.
All right, so I can tell you with definite that all this will be explained to you on our next session in the very beginning, because now you're coming to a different time period where Kang, or one of his variants, rules ancient Egypt. And by the way, this also happened in your Earth, that Kang ruled Egypt at that time too. Except this time, you are now directly involved with this, and now you are very close to causing some kind of time paradox if you're not careful. So you have to be absolutely sure of what you do in this time period.
Well, we know that we're here for a power device.
Right. The less you interact with the locals, the better. At least that's the concept that is given to you by all the rules of time travel.
Yeah.
So you can take that with a grain of salt, or you can just do whatever it is you want to do at that point. But I can tell you right now that regardless of whatever it is, your true depths as heroes will always shine. And you will always do what needs to be done to follow that. Does everyone understand now the actions that you're going to be warranting to do here? Any questions on the period you're in right now in ancient Egypt?
No.
No.
Okay. All right, so then are we going to stop for this session at this point?
Yeah.
All right, so let me give me a moment.